What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. Welcome to Monday Live. We are doing a live Q&A, all things eBay. So definitely make sure to hang around and get all those questions answered. If you guys do have questions, make sure to drop them in the live feed because we will be answering as many of them as we can. I did post it on my Instagram earlier this week, or it is the beginning of the week. So at the end of last week, I posted it. So I do have a couple questions to get us going, but if you guys have questions, definitely make sure to drop them in. I'm really excited for this panel. If you guys don't know the FI resellers, they recently got married and kind of are trying to make this a full-time. I'm going to let you guys say it, actually. You'll say it better than I can. So if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll kind of just move around.
So this is Camilla and I'm Kang, and we're the FI resellers. FI stands for financial independence, and we're using reselling to, kind of boost ourselves into this financial independence thing. As Sarah was trying to allude to, hopefully one of us will be full-time and do this full-time with YouTubing as a side of income as well. And we're really happy to be here. Like you said, we've been married for about 6 months. It's kind of crazy to think that 6 months has already flown by, but married for 6 months, and we've been reselling for I think 2 years now. Yeah, so pretty new to it, relatively new to it, but we're having so much fun.
This isn't a what sold video, so we're not going to get into it. I might have to have you guys back for it, but they get quilts and make some amazing money. Like, I would never think to buy these quilts. So if you guys want to learn quilts, head on over and all the other things too. But I'm just always amazed when they post or they do videos about their quilts, and I'm like, what? That's for how much? So everyone's social media is linked down below. So definitely head on over and follow everybody on social media. I have done a collab with Resell Hero. So you guys have probably seen him on my channel before. We did kind of a fun what sold video. We kind of sell different things. So it's kind of fun chatting back and forth. But if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit, give us a little bit background about you.
Sure. So my name is Jeff with Resell Hero. So we're full-time resellers. There's two of us. I've got a business partner with me, and we've got a couple helpers out there helping us out. And so we focus a lot on video games and consoles and collectibles like cards and just all kinds of things. And again, so we do this full time. So for us, it's really a business, and it's not a hobby. So and Mondays, they're always a big day for us, but we're happy to be here. And it was a fun collaboration video that we did. And we're happy to be here.
And I love having you because you are, like you said, you are full time. So our video, we talked a lot of numbers, and because you have to make those numbers meet your goals.
Yes.
It's not just a side income here. And you have people working as well. So it's not just you. You have are they employees or are you guys partners? I can't remember.
So 2 partners, 2 occasional part-time employees as well.
Gotcha. All right. And if you guys do not follow the Nurse Flipper Cat, we're chatting before, but she has daily videos. Like every time I'm on, I'm like, oh, and there she goes again. And they're even on vacation. I was like, I don't even know how she does this. Because you recently went full time, right? And you have children at home.
Yeah, I went part-time nursing. Yeah, 2 days a week nursing and full-time reselling.
Yeah, which is kind of, I know a lot of nurses that do that. It's kind of a pretty sweet gig to have to kind of still be in nursing and not so much and have the supplemental income. So definitely follow Kat. If you want to give us a little bit of background, you do a lot of auctions.
That was a nice little introduction. My cha-ching is going off. My name's Kat. I just went part-time nursing back in July. So I'm doing nursing 2 days a week and doing reselling and YouTube. The rest of it, I do daily videos. And then I have my live show every Tuesday. So that is tomorrow night. And I've been reselling on eBay off and on for almost 20 years. But this go round, I would sell, stop. And this go round about 2.5 years.
Got it. And in 20 years, a lot of things have probably changed.
They have. When I started, it was like money orders and people would mail you cash.
Yeah. I know. I've heard that. And so they would like maybe, and then you'd have to wait to send
You'd have to wait until you got their payment. Yeah.
So now there's 2 days that you have to wait for people to pay. You're like, it's nothing. Right. All right,
Or
so we're
4.
gonna we're gonna hop in and each give one eBay tip, and then I have a couple questions that were asked on my Instagram. If you guys have questions in the chat, definitely make sure to ask those questions. We will get into as much detail as possible that we can on the channel, but if we need to reach out and talk further, that's fine as well. So let's go around and share one. You can share more if you have more. There's probably a zillion, but one eBay tip that has really helped you in selling on eBay. We'll go around again. Camilla and Kang, you guys can start.
Okay, so one of my favorites is not just the idea that it's on eBay, but consistency over intensity. I think that if you set a goal for yourself each day, the consistency of doing that on eBay really helps the eBay algorithm, or whatever you might call it, or the platform, to really know that you're there for the long haul, that you have a consistent basis in which you're going to have items to sell, and that people can go to your store and expect new things to be in there.
And in addition to that, consistency in listing, but also consistency in shipping. So we've noticed that by shipping every day and shipping, quickly, and even for us, we ship on Saturdays. We're able to take it to the post office Saturday morning. That really helps our eBay store. Like, as soon as we complete shipping, it seems like sometimes we'll get a sale, especially on that Saturday, because it seems like eBay knows, oh, you're active, you're doing sales, and you're completing those sales. So really be consistent on both ends of listing and shipping.
And in a lot of feedback that we get from buyers, they're always saying fast shipping.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
fast
we
shipper,
say,
great shipper.
I think on our policy, we have like a certain number of days handling. So then when we ship the same day or next day, it gets to them much faster than what it says. But that also gives us some leeway in case something does come up, we can't ship that day or something like that. So that's why we keep it like that.
Under promise and over deliver, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I get fast shipping on mine too, but I'm like, I just shipped in the time I said I would. Like, shipping, and that's what I did. But yeah. It's interesting that you said that about Saturdays, because if you're new to eBay, new to reselling, Saturday does not count. It's not like the post office is open, but it doesn't count for a business day, right? Because it's the weekend. But I do try and ship every Saturday that I can as well. And I feel like, I haven't looked at the numbers, but it's interesting that you said that. I feel like the weekends that I ship on Saturdays, I have a better weekend. That eBay's like, hey, you're shipping, let me help you out. And it could have just been in my head, but then you guys said it too. So I'm going to go with that's a true thing.
Yeah. We'll go with that too.
All right, JF, what's your tip for eBay?
Well, that was such a good tip, though, for the consistency. I kind of want to build on that a little bit, because it's not just about keeping your store consistent, but also keeping yourself consistent. Because if you're just starting out, or I was just sharing with Sarah earlier that even so we've been full-time for, like, I've been full-time for about 6 months, but the store's been full-time for over a year now, but we're still learning. But by having the consistency, as opposed to just having one big intense thing, you grow with it as well. So you learn what you need to learn. You don't get too big too fast, and you just go at your own pace. You can increase your pace when you feel that you're at that place. But it's important to be able to kind of fulfill what you're supposed to be doing. So if you buy 100 items, you should list them before you go buy another 100. And I'm not going to say we all do this, but we should be doing this. And we're working actively on this. Yeah. Yeah. But, and at the same time, I will say also, shipping is so important, and shipping promptly. We don't ship every day. We ship 3 times a week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But if someone bought something this morning, and it was before, if we had the time to do it, it got into the shipment. And it's the same thing with Fridays. And that's just, we have our schedule for it. But it's the more often you ship and the faster you ship, your customers are going to be more, they're going to be happy that they receive it quick, right? So if they buy it on Monday and you just ship it the next Monday, I don't know. And I will say that I do think that when stuff gets marked as shipped, that the algorithm likes that. I can't prove it, but I think I know enough to say that. We don't ship on weekends, but maybe I should mark everything as shipped next Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know how that goes, if that is
Yeah.
a thing or not. I mean, I think it does, because eBay likes, so this, we can go down a rabbit hole here, but there's a lot of metrics on eBay. I have playlists if you guys want to learn more. But there's a lot of metrics, and if they're giving you a metrics, they think it's important, and shipping quickly is one of those metrics. And so I think, along with some of the other things that they give us, the consistency and listing and all the other metrics, but that's definitely one thing. So if you're new to eBay and you're like, what's important? If they're giving you a metrics, or they're telling you, hey, to be a top rated seller, do these things, they think those are important. Like, they want you doing those things. And then you can figure out how it works for you. Not everyone does returns, and but in the beginning, as you're trying to get things going, that's a great place to start, following all of those metrics. Sorry, I jumped in and gave a tip, not intentionally meaning to, but I wrote it down to say, based off of what you were saying, JF. All right, Kat, what's your one eBay tip?
So I don't ship on Saturdays either. I will say I stopped that about a year ago. Just because that's 6 days a week, and I'm already pushing myself in so many other arenas. It is like a true day off to not ship on a Saturday. I will, if it's a holiday weekend, that's my exception. If there's no shipping on Monday, I will ship on Saturday. I would say the same. I would say list consistently. One of my tips for new people, if they're wanting to grow their store, is to list how many ever sold plus a certain amount. So I have close to 4,000 items. I have over 100,000 in inventory listed, and I built that all by myself. I do have help listing now. I have hired my niece, but I built that to the 100,000 point all by myself with no help, by consistently listing more than I was selling every day. So if you're wanting to build it up and grow it, then you need to list more than you sell. And if you're wanting to make a certain amount a day, like I would like to make 500 a day. My average right now is about 300 a day in sales. Sometimes more. I sold, I think, 140,000 last year, but I want to list that much a day. So if I want to sell 500 a day, I better be listing 500 a day. But on that note, like, I haven't been feeling well for a week, so I haven't been listing. And I have, JF, I don't know if you saw it, I started a death pile destruction group over on Facebook because I am super guilty. I have a 12 by 20 area full of unlisted inventory. And I finally got to the point where I'm like, this is so much money sitting here that I have put out and bought this inventory, and it's not listed, it's not available for sale, and it's not making me money. So I finally had to say no more. So now all my thrifting goes to my subscribers and boxes, and I am trying to work through that. But my point of saying that was, sometimes you got to take care of you. Like, I'm not pushing myself like today and yesterday to list because I don't feel good. And it sucks when there's nobody else to do it, but sometimes you gotta take a break. And I know my subscribers have been yelling at me to not do my videos, but I'm hard-headed. So.
But if it's something that you enjoy too, right? Like, if that's one of the aspects, I don't want to ship on Saturdays, I'd rather do a video, right? Like, you're finding that balance. If it's something that you hate and you're dreading, then maybe you take that off. And I think I like the balance. I think shipping on Saturdays, yes, it could help, but yeah, then you're shipping 6 days a week, and when you're doing a certain level, I don't mind it most days, but sometimes it is nice. Like, sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to take this Saturday off. I was going to say something else though to what you said.
Like, is your post office open the whole, like, my post office closes at noon on Saturday. So like I would have to wake up early to ship on a Saturday.
I do pickup. So my carrier comes at like 3:00. So as long as I get it done.
See, mine, like, if I'm not there by like 11:40 there, and we did, but we have so many packages going out. Honestly, it was a burden on our post lady. She would have to go like empty her truck and come back to our house. And we're very rural. We're in the middle of nowhere, because like today I had almost 50 going out. Yeah. So for my poor post lady, like they wouldn't, like it's where we can't fit them in the car and have to take our expedition, and they have carts waiting for us at the post office. They know us.
Once you
So
get to a
I
certain,
started bringing it.
yeah, once you get to a certain level, because they've mentioned to me, once you get to a certain level and you're consistent, you can get on the commercial pickup schedule. And
I
then
bet they don't have it here. I
yeah,
bet they
okay,
don't.
so I'm in Denver, so
I'm like, so we're like,
yeah.
I'm like over an hour from any major city. Like we do have a Walmart. We have a Walmart and like a Taco Bell, but not much. It's very, very, very rural.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. So that's not, and if I had to take it, I probably would only ship a couple times a week if I had to actually take it.
Yeah.
If I could just add to that, so I was telling Sarah earlier, we had like 90 packages sent out this morning, and if you show up at the post office with just 10 items that are not prepared properly, you could be there for an hour. So imagine going in with 90. So for us, we have it down to a science. We also don't have access to the commercial pickup or home pickup or whatever. But what we do, we have a bin, we have all the small stuff in there, and we know what everything costs before we go in, and we write it on the back of the envelope. Okay, this is the pile of what cost $1.94 to ship. Boom. This is the pile of what cost $3.19 to ship. This goes to the States. This goes to Canada. We have it all in piles. So when I go to the it's like an 18-year-old girl working there. She's awesome, but I mean, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is already paid. This is $2. This is this. This is that. Boom, 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 boom. And it goes faster with us going through 90 packages than it sometimes takes one person to go through like 2 packages. So
yeah, and we use a scan form too. I don't know. Can you use it there in Canada, JF?
Yeah, that was where I was going to. Yeah.
What do you mean this? What's a scan form?
So anything I ship on eBay, I do the bulk label printing, and then it's just one scan for all of my eBay boxes. Now, the other platforms I cannot. So like my Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook don't get put on. They don't have an option for a scan form. I wish they did. But all of my eBays, so like today, 25 of, like half of what was going out was eBay, but that was one scan. It's a little it's a little form with one scan sheet, and it counts all of the eBay packages. So they only have to scan one thing.
So in Canada, I don't think they have some like, we also don't do the bulk label thing. That's something we've been exploring. We're going to be exploring. Don't give me that look.
Wait, me to think about that.
I know.
Only like 15 of them had shipping labels. Everything else is like letter mail. So like it's a lot of small stuff that doesn't have tracking and all that stuff.
Now, do you at least print those?
Print what?
The labels, the envelopes?
Yeah, but I print them one by one and then I put them on the package.
Wait, so in Canada you don't have access to bulk shipping, or you just don't use it personally?
We haven't been using it because of the account that we have with Canada Post. I'm not sure which one would be more advantageous, but I also don't know if they have like a one scan fits all kind of thing like you were talking about. But so we don't use it yet. We've been toying with the idea, but again, most of those aren't don't really have a barcode. They're just the addresses.
They're not trackable.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, if I had 50 of them, of course I'd do the whole, but anyway.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to give a tip that you should use bulk shipping. Because I don't have 90, and last year I started using it, and I do maybe like 10 packages a day on eBay, and it significantly decreases your time. It's just I toy with it because if you're doing 90, that's gonna help a lot. Only on eBay. Poshmark's bulk shipping is a nightmare. Right. I remember what I was.
Do they have it? Is it an option on Poshmark?
I mean, they do, but it sends it to your email, and then you have to open your email, and then you have to print them all, and they're out of order. So it actually takes me longer to bulk ship on Poshmark than it does.
I only do like 2 or 3 on Poshmark a day at most. Poshmark's my worst platform.
Yeah, I don't do a ton either, and I tried it once, and it took me longer, and it was more frustrating. So it's not worth it. But eBay for sure is worth it. I remember what I was going to say about Kat's consistency and not feeling well and stuff. And so for those who are new to the channel or just popping in, I am a mom of 3 kids and I work, 15-ish hours a week. And it's very inconsistent. When a kid gets sick, I don't get to work and I don't. And so something that I've worked on, I've documented it kind of on my YouTube, is still being consistent. I've listed at least 10 items a day for a year and a half, every single day, even when, we had COVID tests and kids were remote learning and just getting, so I like to get ahead. So I made that face like this was the death pile. It's actually not. It's back stock. So to me, it's different because it is prepped. It is ready to list. I have 3 weeks worth of photos listed ahead. I have a week worth of drafts in my eBay. So then when I have a week, like last week, I only got to work 5 hours because things came up. I was still able to list. So that's kind of my reselling tip. My eBay tip was going to be bookmark, especially if you're new, bookmark pages, because you're going to go and want to get your free shipping supplies every quarter. And it's going to take you 30 minutes to remember where that page is because it's eBay. And so if you find a page that you like, once you're on there a little bit more, you'll kind of learn it. And hey, here's the traffic chart that I wanted, and here's this. But when you're new to it, or if there's a page that you don't look at a lot, bookmark it on your browser because that will save a lot of time. When I ship, I have it saved to my shipping, and I click one button, and it goes to exactly where I need to go. So it even saves a couple of clicks. All right, let's get into that was tips. Let's get in some Q&A. If you guys are joining, I actually want to pop on over to the chat and say hi to some people that popped in. If you guys are joining and you have specific eBay questions, I do have a couple prepped, but if you have questions further, definitely make sure to ask them in a box in the garage. Sometimes it's hard when it's like all smushed together. Is here. Yeah. Hello, Ginger Marvin. If you guys don't follow Ginger Marvin, she does almost daily what sold videos too. And always like the big stacks that she has and everything. She's local here as well. She's listening while she's listening. I'm going to say this wrong. And then Camilla and Kang, I know you know them. Is it the
Hoogs?
Okay, I didn't know if it was a Hoogs or Hogs, but I was going with Hoogs because it's 2 O's. I'm teaching my daughter to read. I should know that, right? The thrifting channel is here. I really need to work on selling before I list more. I think that's definitely a reseller problem in general. Right? What is this? OT nip drop flips? How do you say? Do you know?
That's Richard. He's like my main mod. He's going to be my co-host tomorrow night. It's Ford Pinto flips backwards. I will give it away for him.
I was trying to figure that out. I'm glad that I got it.
I'll give Richard's trick away.
Richard. All right. I can remember Richard. The rest of it, not so much.
That's Richard. Just remember that's Richard.
Richard. eBay Addicts. He does a lot of reselling interviews. So definitely head on over to his channel. Talking to all kinds of different people in the community and just kind of hanging out. I've done a couple with him before as well. Q4, don't forget to get your free eBay coupon. Shipping supplies, right? That's what he's referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you have a store, depending on what level you have, you get free because we pay for a store, but you get free supplies. So every quarter, make sure to go ahead and grab that. I have a question about shipping. If you want to go ahead and drop the question below, we'll get to it. Shipping. We did a whole shipping live a couple weeks ago where we really get into detail, but let's get into a couple new things. So eBay did a seller update, right? They do it twice a year in the fall. So it's now been probably like a month and a half, maybe, since things started rolling out. I haven't had to deal with item specifics this time. Thankfully, I know some of you guys have. Yeah. I did last 2 times ago. So thankfully I haven't had to deal with that, but a couple of things that came out. One is the coupons that I kind of we had a couple of questions on if people are using coupons, how they're using it, if it's helping. And then we'll get into coupons and then we'll do the other one next. So if you guys have started using the coupons, how are you? I have a tutorial walking you through. I've linked it down below. So if you're wanting to know like what it is and how I do it, I have the video, but I want to talk more strategy. If you guys have started using not the codeless coupons, but the new coupons where you can like send it to people or you can have a public coupon. Are you guys using coupons or had any luck, or how are you kind of dealing with those?
Yeah, we watched your video actually to try to get ours. We've used it once, and we've had very little success with it, but I
Yeah.
think it has to also come with, you know, the percentage amount, trying to tweak that, and maybe a flat amount, you know, $5 for an item
Yeah.
that's $25 or more, stuff like that, that we need to really figure out what is best for our audience, because I think that,
Yeah.
you know, you have to understand your audience, who's buying from you and what they're trying to look for with, you know, the items you have,
Right.
and the costs of your item. So all that we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah, but what we did was we any buyer in, you know, I think we spent like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes on it. We sent coupons to buyers who had given us good feedback. You know, so basically past buyers, we sent them a coupon, and I don't think anyone used it, but we only sent it to maybe, I don't know, 50. I don't know how many people we sent it to.
Right.
So, and they were also recent buyers, so they might not have needed anything else from our store.
So we'd love to hear more about your success, Sarah, because we're just starting to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
So I will say too, because I think they said by the end of the year, that was something, I don't know where I saw this, but the coupon, so you can there's 3 ways to do coupons. You can send coupons to previous buyers. You can send a coupon after you send an offer. So if they don't accept the offer 48 hours later, they get sent the coupon, or you can have a coupon on your store. So there's 3 ways to do it. But they said the one when you send it to previous buyers, right now you have to do it one by one.
Yeah.
So like you did, right? And they did say, I think they said by the end of the year, they're going to make that to where you can do it in bulk. And I think people will hopefully get more success with that, because it's time consuming, right? And if you can just send it to 200 people, and I mean, even if 3 people bite, but it takes you 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll talk about what I've been doing, but I want to hear from Kat and JF first, if they've done the coupons and had any luck.
Me first.
Yeah.
I tried it once and it no bites, so I'm not going to waste my time. So I'm kind of anti-coupon at this point. Like you said, sending individually, and my marketing strategy is marking stuff up and running a constant sale 3 days at a time. Like I always want it ending soon. So there's kind of an urgency for them to buy, because if it's a new buyer, they're going to be like, oh, the sale ends in 2 days, versus putting on a month-long sale. I never recommend anybody doing it longer than 3 to 5 days. So I've got a constant % off in my store, and I actually tried to use somebody's coupon that they had put like on the listing, and it wouldn't work. So that made me not want to put one on my items, because it, like when I went to checkout, it didn't function right, and I couldn't get the discount that like it said on the item page. I've thought about it to the offers, because I'm a big send offers. I've thought about, because I always send off like 10 to 15% of my off on my watchers. And I've thought about doing that where it extends it. Basically, if that 48 hours times out, it would extend it. And that's just an extra check mark. So that's something I might try, because I'm constant. I think people that buy from me regular know if they put something on watch in my store, I am OCD, and I'm going to send an offer probably within hours if I'm awake. I do it multiple times a day, and I get a ton of sales that way. And I kind of build that into my marketing strategy as well. So I was like bored at work one day, and I didn't even send 50. I probably sent 20, but I didn't get any bites. But sitting there having to go individual one by one and send it out is just, it takes too much. I've got too much going on.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think eBay heard that, and they're going to fix it, because if it's in bulk, I'm with you. I will send, so you can send the coupon out with offers if you do it in bulk on the computer. If you send offers out in bulk, if you do it on your phone, which I do half the time because I'm running around with kids, you cannot. But when I'm with like Kat, whenever I'm on the computer and I send out offers, it's a check mark. And I'm like, well, that's not going to hurt anything. I'm already offering 20% off or whatever. I might as well just like Kat. So I think hopefully when it comes out where you can send it to previous buyers, that can help get more return, because it's not worth the time, I don't think, right now.
And they've got the one you can print too. Have you done that? Like that you can print and put in the orders?
Yeah. So I have I actually did it on my reel today, not even realizing I was doing it. I was just showing my shipping process, and a lot of people commented, but I have before they did coupons, I have a codeless coupon linked to a QR code. And so then it's like 20% off. Thanks for shopping on all my packages. And they scan it and it brings them up to the coupon. I've done that for a year and a half and I've had 0 people use it.
Oh man.
0. But my followers have gone up and now eBay has return buyer metrics and those are going up. So I think it's getting people to come back to my store, maybe not using a coupon, but it's getting traffic. I'm at least telling myself that.
So
JF. Sorry, I don't know why I said JR. JF.
I've been called worse. So
I called him the wrong name the whole on the thumbnail, and he didn't even correct me.
there's people
Last
I've
time he
known
was
for
on my
years.
show. Now
People
I
I've
know.
known for years call me something different every time. It's entertaining. But
Story of my life.
so it's funny because I literally just noticed this morning when we had like 90 orders to do, this annoying coupon thing kept popping up. I had to X out of it every time. And I didn't even know that but they've had this feature for a long time. It was just like in the guts of the system and it was complicated and I don't think it was ever really used. So all they really did is took it from the closet and put it out in front of everybody. But like any feature, it's going to be a while until it kind of finds its place in the grand scheme of things. So right now we don't use it, but I will say, similar to your story, I've sent probably 10,000 of these thank you cards. And on these thank you cards, we appreciate you. Here's a coupon that is now totally expired, but anyways, doesn't matter. But basically we offered them a certain percentage off a certain size of sale or whatever. Out of, I'll say 10,000 transactions in the past year, one person contacted us, okay? And like, he contacted us. Yeah, so it was to encourage. Do I think it's good to have it? Probably. Like I think it probably does encourage return shoppers, even if they don't think about using it. But I wouldn't do it one by one. And but there's so many other things that you can do that are automated, like Kat was saying. So we also have a weekly sale that we run, and I mean, figure out what works for you, but we run it from Thursday 4 p.m. our time until Monday noon. So that makes it so that depending on different time zones, people can still start buying on Thursday night. And depending on the time zone, if they didn't get to it on Sunday night, they can kind of rush into it on Monday morning. So half the week there's a sale going, the other week, the other half there isn't. And so that we've seen a really big difference in our volume with just that sale. We started doing that a couple months ago. We have an 8% off on some of the stuff that we don't have much margin on, like less margin on, and maybe 15% on some of the stuff that we have a lot more capability to do that. And you just doing that, like anyone who has a store and starts doing that next week could probably get like a 20% sales increase or something like that if you do it right. It's a little clunky to get it to do, but once you've figured out how it works, I can't say it's intuitive. Nothing in eBay is intuitive, but it works. And what's nice is you can just copy it and just redo it week after week after week. And
you can copy the sale like on the main page?
So if you go to marketing and then promotions, that's where you can get your sales going.
Right.
And you have the list of all the sales you've ever made, and you can just copy it, and then it'll create a draft, and all you have to do is change the dates.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I do. I wake up every Friday. Yeah, I wake up every Friday and every Monday. So mine's off from midnight until I wake up Friday, and then same thing Monday. And some Mondays, like if I've got 50 boxes going out, I'll wait until I pack to throw the sale back on.
Yeah.
I've only done that a couple times. Most times as soon as I wake up. So it's off for maybe 16 hours total a week.
But you can
schedule it.
Yeah, you can schedule it ahead of time so that you don't have to kind of worry about it. So I usually schedule it like I have it set for Thursday night, but I set it like on Monday or Tuesday. So it's already done because I know that I'm going to forget if I don't. Like I just do it when I think about it because otherwise I'm going to forget. So having a sale, like having thank you cards are always nice. We recently changed our this is the old one. We recently changed our thank you cards because no one ever used the code basically. And it took half like a whole side of the business card to but anyways, so like having a sale really makes a big difference, I would say. And but could coupons work? Maybe, but there's so many other things that you can do as well. So you don't have to do everything,
Yes.
as long as you do what works, what you know works for your store. And yeah.
And try it out. Yeah. So this copy thing is mind blowing. So thank you.
Same for
Mine
us.
are all copy,
Just
copy,
blew
copy,
my
copy.
mind.
I know. I
But-
figured
I always have to
be
say
one, but I do a sale all the time too. I do it longer, so I'm gonna try and do it like shorter. I always have a sale, but
I bet you'll see more because they have more urgency. Like if they see they have 30 days, there's no rush. They're going to
Yeah.
throw it on their watch list. But if they see it only as 1 or 2 days left, they're gonna buy it.
Yeah, that makes.
I think you'll see a big difference.
I'm gonna do that. I have a sale going now, but I usually do Wednesday, mostly because then when I forget, then it's actually Thursday to do it. So the couple things I will say, we talked a lot about sales, and if you guys are using the coupons can stack on a sale. Speaking to people watching, I'm sure you guys know that, but just saying, if you are doing that, they do not stack on offers. So just if you are doing coupons and you're messing with it, just be mindful that if you have a sale running, they get an additional off if you send coupons, not if they have an offer out there. What I've been doing, so I tried sending it to previous buyers and I spent about 10 minutes and I was like, F this, I am not doing this again. I will send it if I'm sending it to offer to watchers on the computer because it's one extra click. What I've had a lot of luck on is a public coupon. And a couple of reasons that I like this, it's kind of like a sale, but in a different way. And then, so you can stack it. So it does give additional off of my store. But I think I haven't looked in a couple of weeks. The last time I looked, it was like 85% of my sales were coming from essentially buy it nows, which means they were not getting an offer. That went up from 20% when I did a public coupon. So those were all coming because they were still getting, so I used to get a lot of offers from watchers or they were sending me an offer. So they're still getting the discount. But the nice thing about the public store is, one, they have to pay right away. Like if you do offers, you don't have to pay right away. And so I was not only getting an increase in my traffic from having the public coupon, but then they were also having to pay right away. So that's what I've had the most luck with. And right now I have I think it's $10 off if you spend $50 or more. So it's really getting my higher price items to sell flat out and not with a offer, because a lot of my higher price items, you get watchers, you accept the offer, they don't pay, you lose all those watchers. So that's kind of my strategy now, and it's been working in my numbers. It's really been increasing. I think it was up to like $1,200 or something from that coupon. I had gotten it. All of the other coupons I've used, nothing. So that's kind of where I was at with the coupons. I think that's what we had. We did have a couple questions in the chat, so I'm going to check over there, and then we might get into, if we have time, promoted listing advanced, because that's kind of a new thing that's been floating around. Not floating around. It's something new on eBay. Let's see. I have questions about shipping. Okay, so the question is, how do I ship? That's very complex because it's going to depend on what you have. I did a YouTube live 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we spent an entire hour talking about eBay shipping, and we kind of just touched the surface. So I don't want to say that we're not going to help you. I would recommend watching that, or you can reach out to me and I will help you figure out, because it's going to it depends on where you're shipping from and what you have set up in your store and how much big it is. And and so it's hard to kind of answer in a form like this. But I'm Sarah Styles LLC everywhere, and you can reach out to me on Instagram and I will help you figure out how to ship. And I'm sure anyone here as well, their handles are down below, can help you with shipping, but it's very specific, unless you have something to add.
Yeah, I'll just say that's a very vague question. So, I mean, you're basically asking, how do I run 30% of this business, right? So that is a big, broad subject. But if you'd ask us more specific questions like, what's a safe way to package this kind of item, or what kind of box should I get for this, then that's more of a question that we can actually answer. But Yeah.
Especially
And
because
I would assume a lot of us probably have how-to videos too. Would be, I have like eBay shipping for beginners, like step by step. I'm sure Sarah does her live and probably some videos as well, and specific things like JF is saying. Like I even ship big paintings, so like I have a how to ship a giant painting video. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. I would give just kind of 2 tips from, because I think I saw that she's switching from Poshmark to eBay.
Yeah.
And so if you're switching from Poshmark to eBay, I'm assuming that you're selling clothing, you're selling shoes, that sort of item. So if that's the case, 2 things that I would get that you might not already have. So I'm assuming that you ship with priority mail on Poshmark, so you might already have their free priority shipping items that from the post office. So in addition to those priority mail items, I would get plain poly mailers. So those are like kind of plastic bags that you can put clothes in, anything that weighs under a pound. That way you can ship them using what's called first class. Again, all this information is on the internet. You know, you can look up the different policies that the post office has. But I would get that. I would order that before you start on eBay. And I would order a a scale. Yeah. So that you can weigh all your items, because you don't have to do that on Poshmark. You do have to do that on eBay, because you don't want to overcharge the buyer, because then your stuff won't sell. But you also don't want to undercharge, because then you have to pay the difference, or you accidentally send something and it's overweight and then it gets sent back to you and the buyer never gets it. So those would be the 2 things I would buy first, as long as you were just shipping basically shoes and clothes. That would be where I would start.
agreed. And I will say, if you have a store, you can get free poly mailers from eBay and not have to buy them.
And you'll not want to use the free priority too if it's first class when you move over to eBay. Where on Poshmark, like I shipped a 4-ounce scarf in a padded flat rate today because it was on Poshmark, but I would never do that on eBay. I would use a plain one because it would only cost $3. But on Poshmark, you can priority, or you do priority everything. So there's a pretty big difference in those two.
And it doesn't matter too. So if you have boxes lying around, Poshmark, it doesn't matter. Like you can ship it in literally anything. In eBay, if you have a regional A box and you are shipping it flat rate, like it's not going to fly. Like your boxes, you need to be mindful of what boxes you have and what boxes you are using. So, but we can definitely help you. I think that's a great valid point, that if she is moving or he is moving from Poshmark, they're likely doing stuff like that. It'll be slightly easier, I think.
Yeah.
He is paired with what you guys do. All right, we have a question. Is everyone seeing a pickup in sales now that we are in Q4?
These past few days only, but no, not really. Not at the beginning of October.
Yeah, not as much.
No, mine are down 30% from last month.
Sweet.
I mean, that's 9,000 for me. It's not horrible for most people, but I'm used to doing 10 to 12,000. So and I had a really good month last month, which was not. I had a really good month last month, but my other platforms are making up for. Like I shipped over 1,000 out last Monday from Poshmark, Kari, Facebook. So
from
the other
I thought you said Poshmark, and I was like,
well, I sell everything on Poshmark. So like I sold a DVD player on Poshmark last week, and today I shipped out I shipped out a scarf, but then the other 2 were not, like they were home items, like my collectibles.
It's getting to the point where you can do almost anything. And they, in their Posh Fest, they came out and were basically headed in that direction. It's kind of got the feeling I got.
Yeah, when I can't find a category, I just go other.
Yeah, that's what I do too. You just have to be careful, especially like you guys said, you're doing quilts. Like I do a lot of linens too. Those over 5 pound labels are, man, like I'm like, like $20 for 10 pounds. Like you better be making a lot of profit if you're selling heavy stuff on Posh.
Yeah.
block.
It's the times when you want to be like, hey, would be better if you would. I mean, you can't do it if you're new. Don't.
I've
People tell you.
declined offers and been like, I'm gonna have to buy a more expensive label for this. I can't I can't take an offer.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, don't tell them to go buy it on eBay. There's been times that I'm like,
oh yeah,
it would be so much
then you'll
cheaper
get
if you bought it in my store. Yeah, don't do that. But there's definitely times that wise, I'm like, oh, it would be so much better if you bought it on a different platform.
Yeah.
So Ginger Marvin Kathy is saying she does the same with the sale over and over every 3 days. What's going on? I copied some listings yesterday and it's making me a new title. Oh, and then you asked Kat if it's on list perfectly. Oh no,
she said that like it's making like it's all. I don't know what she was asking. I was trying to clarify.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're asking exactly. However, on eBay, you are not allowed to have a duplicate listing. So if you copy a listing that you have, or you do sell similar, you can't have two exactly the same.
Change one word.
Listings. You need to change
one
a word in the title, a word in the description, a word in the condition, or whatever. Like for example, we've sold hockey cards. It was the same exact guy, same exact title, same exact card, except one was in very good condition and one was in excellent condition. So I kind of had to have two separate things, and I had to just, I added a period, I think, to the title or whatever. But like you can't have two exactly the same. And I mean, if they're the same item, just change your quantity anyway. You just put a quantity of two instead of having two separate listings.
Which I kind of appreciate that they do that, because sometimes, especially if you're on multiple platforms,
if you accidentally do it.
Yeah. I've done it on Poshmark and eBay. I've done it, and they're like, "You can't do this," and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much for that." Poshmark, I'm like, "Oh, this already sold. I had two of them." Oops. Jules is saying, "Kat, your hair is amazing." Amber Resells is here. Thanks for joining, Amber. Do you all ship internationally? I learned something for international shipping. You guys probably already know this, but I will share that with you guys in a minute. But if you want to talk about international shipping, how you're set up for that.
Yeah, so we ship internationally using the global shipping program. So,
and that's it.
Yeah, that's the only way that we ship internationally. We ship to eBay has a place in Kentucky. We ship it there. They ship it out to the buyers. However, we have had one sale that went through, what was it called? It was like a shipping service to Mexico that we shipped it to a place in Texas, and then they take ownership of it from there, and then they ship it to Mexico.
Through eBay, or this was like an external?
It's an external company, but eBay allows it for sales over $50.
Okay.
Going to places like that.
Some of them have handling companies.
Yeah.
They'll buy a bunch of stuff and then they send it to them all together.
Right. But basically on eBay, once it arrives at that warehouse, that's the address that we were given. And so it's a completed sale on our part. So we don't have to worry about once it goes internationally. If it actually makes it to them, that's not our problem. So that's kind of
that's like GSP too. As long as it makes it to Kentucky, you're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So part of our store is on international shipping, and it's funny because we had this conversation on one of Kat's streams, and back then I basically said that I'm a little embarrassed right now, but so we haven't really touched that much. But we have there's a few things that we have in our store, like a few categories that are really simple. Like in Canada, shipping's so complicated, man. But anyway, so all our cards, like Magic cards, Pokemon cards, whatever. So we have maybe 20% of the store that we have fixed rates worldwide. So if it goes to Canada, it's a certain amount. If it goes to the States, it's a certain amount. And then anywhere else, it's a specific amount. Because that, no matter where it goes, is going to be the same price. And we have a few other things that we have rates on, but we haven't really... The global shipping program isn't as simple for us in the sense that, because we're in Canada, so it is going to cost us it would cost the client quite a bit for me to ship it to wherever it needs to go to the States, to then have them ship it to them. Because like for you guys, you people,
You people, thanks.
It could cost $5 for a small item, or let's just say 15, 20 for like a larger item. But for me, it could cost like 50 plus whatever else to then ship it from there. So we haven't done it. Maybe we would get an increase in sale. I don't know. We just haven't touched it. But for sellers in the States, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer to go with the GSP program, in my opinion. But
so I don't use the GSP on most. I'm going to go against everybody else here. And that's because it costs the buyer so much that you're probably not going to get that many sales. So GSP might charge them $50 to ship it. Like they're going to charge them an outrageous handling fee for, say, a $10 item. So somebody in Canada is going to be like, no, like I'm not paying $60 for a $10 item. But with standard international shipping, it's only $10 to $13 for any item under a pound. And I do that if my loss is going to be less than $50. So if I paid $50 or less, I do standard international, and I've only had one issue, and I've been using it for over a year. They do have a claims process. It's basically a company that eBay outsourced to do it directly. So I get a ton of Canada sales, even on like DVDs that cost $5. They're willing to pay $10 to get it shipped to Canada, but GSP would probably charge them 20 or 25. So I have mine split. And so my items probably that are 100, 150 and more are GSP because I want the protection. But everything else, like t-shirts, lower dollar collectibles. I had 2 international sales today. One, actually, somebody in Canada bought 4 items and said, hey, will you combine shipping? And I said, yeah. So they bought 3 hats. They bought a pair of jeans, and it cost them, I undercharged. I charged them 25 and it actually cost 27, but I was okay with the $2. But standard international will let you combine, and GSP will not. So if they buy an item on GSP, it has to ship singly, and you can't let them buy more than one item. So I used to only do GSP. I switched to doing the standard, but only on low dollar things. And I would probably say on average 5 to 10 international sales a week using standard international. But if you're only going to lose, like 10 or 15, I figure what I paid. So if I paid $2 for a t-shirt, worst case, if it gets lost or they claim something, I'm out $2, right? It's hard not to look at like, oh, I'm out the $25 they paid, but reality is I'm only out $2. So that's really increased my sales. I know a lot of people do direct through pirate ship. I don't want to jump that far. I'm good with using eBay standard international, because then you can still do it on your bulk printing, and it all just like global shipping. It's still like a few of them, like Canada, I think goes direct, but a lot of them go actually to Kentucky to another warehouse that's not GSP, and they're processed through there. So
I'm going to piggyback on that because that is what I learned this weekend. I was doing all GPS because it was scary and GPS was easy. And then I had a buyer buy 2 items and was like, oh, can you combine these? And I said yes, not knowing they were a GPS person, and went to do it. And I was like, oh, no, I cannot. And so I kind of went down the rabbit hole, like, how can I get it? And what was outrageous to me is it was 2 Patagonia hats. So they were like $20 hats, and they were going to pay like $60 in shipping or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I figured this out, and it ended up being like almost half the cost of shipping, and then I can put it together. And so now after I figured it out for that one person, I went through and put it on everyone. But I thought under $50 because it only secures it to $50. And then everyone over $50 has GPS on it for the security reasons. But I thought it was 4 pounds. Is it 1 pound, or I thought it was up to 4 pounds?
You can do, if you do pirate ship, you can do first class international up to 4 pounds. But on the standard international, 1 pound is either $10 to $13. And like the one I sent to Canada today was 3 pounds, and it was 27. So I would be saving my buyer more money if I went and did pirate ship first class. But I am not, like I said, my husband does the shipping on the days I work, and I don't want to have to ask him to go out, pull out into pirate ship. And like, he needs to just like
Agreed.
Have his list and do it. Otherwise he'd be doing it that way anyways, and I would charge less and end up losing money.
Agreed. But so you can, if it's up to 4 pounds, you can use that program. It's just going to cost more if it's over a pound, just to clarify.
Right. And I do calculated, so it figures it out for the buyer. Like I do it up to even like 10-pound items if they're lower, you know, like I bought them for less, and I've shipped like big things. That way I think it went up to like $54, but on global shipping program, it would have cost them over $200.
Yeah. And I do clothing, shoes, and purses. So anything over like 4 pounds, like just is not a thing for me. So,
so you're good. I shipped a wheelchair across the country.
That's wild. All right. So I think that's all I had to say on that. Let's see if we have any other questions in the chat. I don't think we'll have time to get to promoted listings advanced because we got 5 minutes left.
I don't know what that is.
I love that Ginger Marvin made a sale during this. They were talking back and forth. Congratulations, Kathy. As long as it makes it to Kentucky, 6 months, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Okay. I think we're good. So we have 4 minutes and I will pop into, well, I'll let you guys decide. We can either attempt to talk in 4 minutes about promoted listing advanced, or we can talk about if you guys have any extra tips or things that you think would be helpful for new eBay sellers.
I'm good for whatever.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Let's do tips because I think promoted listing advanced is going to get kind of complex. It's probably too much. If you guys are interested, the seller update came out. It's a beta testing. Currently, you can do promoted listing right now and pay to have your items shown. The advanced is an advanced version of that, but it is in beta. I have a whole video on it on what it is and how to tell if it's working and if it's something that you should be doing. I have an eBay tutorial playlist linked in this description, or send me a DM and I'll give you the exact video. But that's probably pretty complex to get into in 3 minutes. So I think we'll end with, if anybody, my husband just came on, he's making, Grandma made us soup this weekend. So right now. So let's end. If you guys have any other eBay tips, let's go with ways to get sales, right? That's what everybody wants. We've kind of talked a little bit, but if you have any tips, I take that back. There was something in Instagram, I forgot. Someone asked daily tasks that you do on eBay. What is something, are there tasks that you do? Obviously you take days off, weekends, whatever. But if you're on eBay, are there things that like every single day I send out offers, I run a sale? Like what are your daily eBay tasks?
Yeah.
So many. So we I mean, you got to do a little bit of everything every day, everything that you remember to do, and everything you didn't remember to do yesterday, you do it today. But essentially, list a little bit every day, depending, that looks different for everybody. Like if I sit there a whole day, I have the mental capacity to do anywhere between 80 to 120 listings, depending on what I'm listing.
We do 5 a day.
And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Most people will do 1 or 5 or 10 a day, and that's totally cool.
Or 20 if you're me.
Yeah, sure. But it's all about the consistency. But by having that consistently, you know what I'm saying. in listing, it will make a difference for the sales. So I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. One other thing that we do every day is any listings that are ending that day. So when you have a listing on Buy It Now, and it goes for about 30 days, usually is what it's automatically set at. Any listing that's ending that day, so for me that's within 24 hours, I end all those listings and I sell similar, and it creates in eBay, in the algorithm, at least in what I think it does, is that it shows it as a new listing, that is fresh. It's not just being renewed. And I've seen a difference in sales because of that. So that's something that I do. It takes, you can, kind of check them all at once and end them, and then check them all to sell similar again. And it's maybe takes 2-3 minutes a day. And sometimes we'll have 20 that end. Sometimes we only have 5 that end, depending on how many have sold from that day. Whatever it was, 30, 60, 90 days ago. Yeah.
I don't do that. I can't do it. Because I have 4,000 items. So with me, you're talking about like a possible 200 listings, and I like to
Yeah.
see when mine started. Now, I think if you're smaller and you have the time, but for me, I'm like progress forward. Like I'm listing new stuff. I'm not going to take the time. And I edit mine and see the start date. And if you did that, you would never know when you like really listed it unless you put it in the custom SKU. And I want to know like, how long has this been sitting here? Because if I get an offer in, then I am going to like, if it's been sitting here a year, I might send 50% off just to try and grab that one person that just looked at it. But I don't remember, like the 3,800 items later, I'm like, have I had that 2 months or a year? You know, it's like, because I do a lot of volume. I do a ton of volume. So for me, I can't. Now I will occasionally go in and edit all of my prices by a penny. And somebody told me that refreshes your store like their brand new listing. So I'll go bulk price edit and decrease it by 1 cent or increase it by a penny. If I'm really slow on sales, I'm like, oh, let me just go bulk price everything by a penny or two. And I think that might get it in. And I think a lot of people do the end and sell similar if they can't list that day to try and get like more activity. I say send offers though. That's my top tip. I am on it. Some people only do it once a week, but I feel like if you send offers as soon as you see them, it's fresh in the person's mind. They just saw the item and they're more likely to bite and buy it.
And eBay appreciates the activity. So even if that person doesn't buy it, eBay appreciates that activity. I'll say for the sell similar, I'm with Kat too and not doing it because I like the date. Even if you put it in your custom SKU, which I have it in there, you can't sort that way unless you put it in there the right way.
At the beginning, maybe,
and I do sales based off of how long I've had it. Like if I've had it for a year, it has a 50% off sale because I don't want to see it anymore. And then the other thing, and I'm just going to throw this out here and then tell you to go listen to the podcast because I haven't listened to it. I just read it. But I heard if you end your listing and you do sell similar, it gives you a new listing, but then it takes a month to 3 months, I think it is, to go to Google, like for Google to catch on. So it actually is going to decrease your traffic because you're not being sent to Google. So I'm going to say that is something I read on a Facebook blog. And it's on the Liz Perfectly podcast that Liz does. And so there's it was a eBay SEO person came on there. So I would head over there and get the full thing because I didn't listen to it, but I thought that was interesting as well because I know a lot of people do sell similar. We are out of time. I'm going to say really quickly a couple things that I do and then we'll head out. I appreciate everyone being here. I go through, so I list every single day. All of those listings I send to Pinterest every day because it's when you're Googling, a lot of times the first picture that comes up is on Pinterest. I don't think people are necessarily buying from Pinterest, but it's one of the top search engines out there. So I send every new item to Pinterest every day. And then I do some kind of editing. Sometimes, I go in and I bulk edit and increase my price 1%. Or I go in and I kind of just refresh my promoted listings on everything. Or just something. Every single day I'll go in and edit, not everything, maybe go in and edit some pictures, do their white background or just something in. So eBay's like, hey, you actually care about your store and you're like doing things. Sometimes it's 2 a day because my kids are wild and sometimes I have time to do more, but I like to do, and then I send offers and ship every single day as well. So, all right. Thank you guys. This was so informative. I am having lives next month. I haven't gotten them listed yet up because life is crazy. We have 3 birthdays this month and it's just wild. But there will be a live next Monday. I don't know what it's going to be yet. So keep out for that. I do have my Wednesday video is coming out. It's a month late on how much I made in October. My gross number all the way down to my net number showing you cost of goods, expenses, how much I save for taxes. So my whole profit and loss, that's coming out on Wednesday, and then I do have a video on Friday, but I have no idea what it is. It's scheduled. I don't know what it is. But so if you guys like to learn how to resell, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications. Everyone who is on this live is obviously very knowledgeable and can help you guys as well. So their information is linked down below. Make sure to follow them on YouTube and all social media channels. And I want to thank you guys for giving your time up. I know it's dinner time places. Some of us aren't feeling good, busy Mondays. I really appreciate you guys spending the hour with me and helping out some people. So,
Yeah, so much fun.
yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks.